Howdy, folks. Jerry here. Hey, I haven't done a short in a while, and I was thinking of something, so I wanted to tell you. This is a sea story from when I was stationed up in Bremerton, Washington. We had this. I worked on some barges, yard repair barge maintenance, YRBMs, and they were called. The command was called Naval NRMTF, Naval Reserve Maintenance Training Facility, but our hat said NRMTF. Puget Sound, so people would think that we had something to do with the nuclears, with the subs and stuff. I'd say nuclear reactor missile testing facility or stuff like that. And they would say, "Oh, Banger," like Banger, Washington. I'd say, "No, you Banger, you brought her," but that's a different story. But we had this guy. So there was all these maintenance barges. I was in the engine shop, and we had maintenance shops, and I was in the engine shop. We had this guy, I don't even remember his full name, but he was Polish, and we called him Ski. And he was huge, and he was the nicest guy in the world. I don't think he was the brightest guy, but he was the nicest guy. And in the Navy, back then, we wore chambray shirts and Dungaree bell bottoms. And yeah, when you made rank, your crow would be over here to be iron on. And it's stupid because you have to cut off the instructions or cut off the third, second, first class crow, all that. And engineers were notorious for having bad uniforms because they never wore them, which is opposite. They should be perfect and then stayed in the locker. So, and anytime you went to a berthing compartment, now we were on shore duty, so we didn't have berthing compartments per se, like aboard ship. But you'd go to a berthing compartment, you'd get to go to the iron, and on the bottom of the iron would be all this iron on stuff because someone put the thing on their sleeve the wrong way and then whatever. So it was lunchtime and I was kind of making my rounds, just BSing with other people in the shops. And I go down to the hull technician shop and there's Ski and he's got a torch and it's got the big rosebud tip on it. And he's heating up a pipe, a big old pipe, about 4 inch diameter, just a chunk of it about a foot long. And he's just heating it up. And I said, Ski, what in the hell you doing? And he says, I got a dental appointment this afternoon. I got to put my dungarees on and I don't have my second class crow on, so I'm going to iron it on. So he heats this pipe and he puts on the big welding gloves and he rolls it across there on the sleeve on the workbench as he's ironing on his crow so he can get out of his coveralls, put his dungarees on, and go to the dental clinic and get his teeth checked. Oh, man. There's other stories about Ski, too, that just come to mind. That'll be time for another one. Bye-bye. You go now.